Hello now, ladies and gentlemen. It is now time to do the news. Now before we do the news, I'd just like to say that the reason why we didn't do any news last week is because there wasn't any news to talk about that I could find. But now there is some news to talk about, and I'm going to be talking about the things in there. So it's time to do the news, everybody. Yes, it is, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let me go and sit down. Okay, now, we would like to start off the news tonight just by telling you, ladies and gentlemen, that Lancia, the people who make the stupid Ypsilon, or Ypsilon, or Whipsilon, however you like to say it, have made or are going to be going into rallying, ladies and gentlemen. They are, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Lancia, who are returning to rallying. Yes, it's just one crowning achievement, really, because Lancia have been absent from rallying. Yeah, they've been absent from rallying for just the longest time, and I'm so excited to see him in rallying again. But they're doing it with their one and only car, ladies and gentlemen, the Ypsilon, which is just over there, actually. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be so good to see Lancia back, and they've got the car in the middle. Yes, the one in the middle, the silly little Ypsilon. And it's going to be against, well, some of the best rally cars ever. Well, not really, but the legends that these two cars here, the Delta and the Stratos, have influence on the world, should have an impact on this car, the Ypsilon, I think. So, people of rallying, if you want to make a good rally car, please make it good. I'm sorry if that wasn't explained very well, because I don't have a script. I just turn up to the studio and I record the episode's studio parts. I don't have scripts at all. I just go with the flow. Now in other news, oh god, what was I gonna say? Actually, yes. Now, in motoring news, the new Alpine A290 unveiling has actually been scheduled for June 13th at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. So that is tomorrow. Yeah, Alpine is set to unveil its first all-electric urban sports car, the A290, on June 13th at the prestigious 24 Hours of Le Mans. This is a new chapter in Alpine's story as it unveils its first fully electric model. The A290 promises to deliver the proper hot hatch driving experience. The new model was recently spotted testing in the extreme weather conditions of Sweden's Lapland, enduring temperatures as low as minus 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Which I don't use because I use Celsius because I'm in the UK. Now it's based on the Renault 5. It's based on the Renault 5 E-Tech, which is very unsurprising because it looks exactly the same. Can we get a picture of it up on the screen? Yeah, look at the A290. Yeah, look at the A290, and then can we get a picture of the new Renault 5 on the screen? Yeah, it looks absolutely identical. Right. Now the A290. Back to the news. The A290 will measure 1.7. I'm not reading the height things that I've written down. The motorsport inspired steering wheel will be wrapped in Napa leather. And it's going to be conveying its very sporty character. Well, I'm not sure it's very sporty. It looks very sporty, but can it is it very sporty underneath? We'll find out soon enough when the people in the real world tell us what it's like. But yeah, a unique steering wheel features 3 functions borrowed from the Alpine's Formula 1 cars: overtake, recharge, and drive mode. Alpine's partnering with Michelin once again, and the A290 will be equipped with either the Pilot Alpine 5 winter tyre or a choice of 2 summer tyres. The Pilot Sport EV for energy efficiency, and the Pilot Sport S5 for maximum performance. These tyres, marked with the A29 code, reveal optimizations specific for the upcoming model. So basically, this is going to be kind of like the Renault 5 Turbo. Now, the unveiling of the A290 will take place on June 13th, and it will be streamed live. Yeah, I'm not really going to watch that. But yeah. So yeah, basically it's kind of like the Renault 5 Turbo, but new. What? Yes. Now, a major British car brand has released the fastest charging EV ever made, powering up in less than 15 minutes. It's called the Lotus Emea. Here's a picture of it up on the screen now. Yeah, look at that. It looks brilliant. Yeah, and it can charge, actually, from 10% to 80% in under 15 minutes. I'd say that's really, really good. Now, the new Lotus Emea was found to deliver a peak power of a whopping 402 kilowatts at public charges in the latest P3 charging index. That's around 80 more than the next best EV, the Peng G9. Some Chinese car, I think. At 320 kilowatts. It also beat out higher-end offerings like the Porsche Taycan, Tesla Model Y, and the Mercedes EQS. Now, can we get the specs on here as well, please? Because I'd like to see those. But yeah, okay, let's go to the specs. So, it's got a 379 mile range, 603 horsepower, and it tops out at 155 miles an hour. So, about the same as a Volkswagen Golf GTI or the Golf R nowadays. And the brand has been boldly dubbed its creation a future classic and says it offers class-leading performance and style. Well, I don't know about that. But anyways, in other news, let's see what other news has been written down. Oh, the Crew Motorfest is adding an entire island for free because it's a Ubisoft game. I'm not sure that's very interesting. What have we got in motoring news? This was interesting. An urban explorer known as Tokyo Matilda has stumbled across the abandoned motors as she filmed a video for her YouTube channel, with the find estimated to be worth around £200,000 in total. Looks like here we've got an MG, an Alpha, I think. Now, among the cars found were a number of British classics, including a Daimler, Triumph, a classic MG with an eye-catching red finish, a Morris Minor, and even a fire truck, with many of the vehicles dating back to the 1950s. And due to the condition and the rareness of some motors, Tokyo estimates that the lot could be worth around £1,000. This includes a rare Dennis SS135 fire engine from 1994, with Dennis being a brand used by the fire service until 2007. Also, 2 vintage Triumphs were also spotted, including a 1971 Triumph GT6, valued at around £20,000, and an iconic Triumph Spitfire. It is unknown why the cars had been left abandoned, with many of the vehicles' road tax expiring in 1995. So I guess that's pretty good news. Now, I think that's the end of the news, because I'd like to move on now to some of the fastest supercars in the world. So you've got the Koenigsegg Jesko, Bugatti, Chiron, but none of those cars are actually very good, because I think I've found some of the coolest cars that are cooler than them in the supercar class. Now, these cars are probably the most special cars ever. And it's these two. The Pagani Utopia and the Lotus Evija. Just look at these two cars. I mean, they're the coolest looking cars from just every angle. I mean, from just every angle, they look absolutely amazing. And it's easy to see why. Because look, the Utopia has references of the Zonda and the Huayra in here. And the Evija just looks gorgeous. Even though it's an electric car, it just looks absolutely gorgeous. So does the Utopia as well. Just look at that interior. He's even got a manual transmission. It's just... they're just the best cars I've ever seen, really. And yeah, that's all I can really say. Because I didn't actually write down the specs for these cars. Because I forgot to do that while in the making of this, if this broadcast. So, yeah.